here.
Hi.
This is the paper dungeon. This is table scraps.
We made it.
We have new commands that Lydia made. They're there. Yes, yep, that's a thing. This is one of them. This is what table scraps is. Weekly show on Thursdays. Sometimes it's at 1:30. Sometimes I wake up and it's 1 o'clock and I didn't sleep well and I'm really hungry. So I go, hey, can we postpone it until like 2:30? And then we do, because we don't know when it's happening, when it's going on. This is talk show. We normally talk about our main campaign show that we have on Mondays, 7 p.m. CST. Those are not as randomly placed in the whole timeline of things. We played Under the Dragons 5th edition. Campaign's going pretty sick. If you don't want spoilers, I suggest that you watch that episode, because we normally go over it for about an hour here until we run out of stuff to say, and then we talk about, I don't know, maybe the first 5 minutes of the Phantom Menace, which is what I was going to make a reference to, and Lydia told me that I couldn't. If you want to see more of us, check out our socials. We've got TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a sick Discord that you should be a part of, because first off, that's the only way you'll really know if we postpone anything until 2:30. Fine, I'll turn myself up. It's whatever. Thank you. I don't like listening to Grant. Is that better? I should be around. I'm a little bit higher there. Yeah. What? Geez, now you ruined my flow. Be there in the Discord. We talk about cool stuff, and that's where we notify people of when exactly we'll be going live and things like that. It's really fun. We also have a website, www.thepaperdungeon.com. That's a thing that we have. Be there. You can buy merch, like with our logo on it and other cool things and some quotes that we have. Lydia designed them. Speaking of Lydia, she has a store. It's back up. It's ready to go. It has updated things. Buy it. It's all cool. You can't get notebooks there anymore, but you can get pillows.
Pillows! Can't cuddle a notebook, but you can cuddle a pillow.
If you would like to support us in other ways, other than just being cool people, the easiest way, and it's completely free, is just tell your friends. Have them stop by. Maybe have them join the Discord. It could be fun. But if you want to support us monetarily, we have multiple ways to do that. We've got Patreon. We've got Ko-Fi. We've got the whole Streamlabs donate thing. I'm sure that there's a button somewhere down below. I don't know where, but it's there.
It's there. I see it.
It's right there. Patreon. We have a Patreon goal of, I think, 10 patrons. Patreoneers. I don't know what dumb name Grant calls them. And it's like $3 right now, so that's pretty cool. We have some content back there, and it's all right. Grant has put in a lot of work for it, and so I should probably plug it and stuff like that, and be a good person or whatever. Anyway, Grant, we're not gonna call them Patreoneers. I refuse.
That's a lot of people.
That is you use your entire vocal
Patreoneers.
Register and frame to say that.
Anyway.
Patreoneers.
I'm looking through the commands to make sure. Oh.
Ugh. I don't like you, Grant. Anyway, yeah, we should probably do our normal thing. Yeah, we have a link tree that has all of them just in a thing.
All the links that Maz just put so much effort to go through and do one by one. We have a command that has them all, and we just forgot we have it.
Although I do think that one of them on the link tree might be broken, but I can't remember which one it is.
Okay.
Maybe it's there's
They're
one
all there, so
that has a weird slash.
Yeah, I'll go through and I'll look. I'll fix.
Also,
anything.
Grant, if you're gonna say it's the Patroneers, don't put another E in there. You could just say Patron. Like the word patron. That's how it would be pronounced phonetically. But yeah, we have. Yeah, I think it's a Patreon link.
Okay.
We have a game Mondays. We play on Mondays. We talk about it here. That's what I'm about to do. Honestly, last Monday is just a it's a cloud. I barely remember what happened.
Do I get to do the recap?
If you would like, because you best believe I remember the last 20 minutes of it.
I never get to do a recap. Okay.
Broken.
Okay, gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. Okay. So we start with me. I go to Catherine's room.
Yes.
Riniya goes to Catherine's room and has the hairbrush stuck in her hair, and Catherine helps her untangle her hair by also like probably ripping a patch out of her scalp and then proceeding to untangle the knot.
Yeah, you guys like talked and combed hair for like an hour.
Yeah,
I remember.
Then they talked way longer than I meant for them to talk. And then Catherine goes to Edward, and Catherine and Edward talk for a really long time. And then
something happens.
And then we do our battle royale. We had Tarak and Edward.
I yeet people off the boat.
Tarak and Edward have training that they do together, but we decided to do training as a group. And one of the things that they wanted to do was have a sparring match with everybody. So we had a like mini battle royale, which lasted one round as Tarak just threw everybody off the boat, and then it was done. And then after that, was it then Riniya goes to see Grotz?
Yeah, you guys flirt or whatever.
And then we have breakfast with Grotz. And then after breakfast with Grotz, Tarak gets his tattoos.
Yes.
Tarak got his tattoos.
You need to make sure that DJ knows exactly what those do.
Tarak got his tattoos, and then we just continued traveling back to the refugee camp. We get back there, we see Malice, we run into Lada. Well, first we meet Catherine's best friend.
Yeah, his new bae.
Vizon, I think's his name.
Yeah, something Chad-like that.
So we meet Vizon, then we run into Lada, and then Edward gets a love interest.
Yeah.
And then
man, you remember this way better than I do.
And then we talk battle strategy.
And I fight for the rights of my people.
You guys, you rocked it. You were like, hey, here's the deal.
Look, buddy. All right.
And then we found out Kiamora's in the Fae.
Yes.
And then Riniya talked to Edward very briefly at the end.
And totally wingman for him too. I remember this.
100%, yeah. And then
you were like, no, I would I would put up the tent.
I got the tent.
No, yeah,
Don't worry about it.
no.
You stay here. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's the episode.
Yeah. I had gotten like an hour of sleep, so I was running on fumes that whole time. I had a lot of fun. I just don't remember it now. It was like it all happened in a dream. So thank you for your recap. Well, I mean, you did the recap. What do you want to start it chronologically? Like, ask questions about like that kind of stuff? Like, what do you want to do?
We can go chronologically. That'll probably make it easier to remember
That's very
everything.
Fair. All right. Well, first half of the episode was pretty much you. So
that's not true. Edward and Catherine took a long conversations as well.
That is fair. I had already forgotten about them. That conversation with Catherine, did it go kind of along the path of where you thought that it would? Did it completely derail, or is it just like, did you not really have an expectation for it?
I didn't really have much of an expectation for it. The main thing I kind of wanted to do with that conversation was just, and I didn't really get to do it because it kind of got derailed a little bit, but I didn't mind it being derailed. The main thing I was wanting to go for with that conversation was Riniya appreciating that you guys are here.
Yeah.
And that you guys are alive, kind of thing. I wanted to go in and I wanted to kind of give them something to be doing. And I thought it would be cute to do the hair thing since Catherine was the one who first offered to braid her hair and then didn't get to do that. So I was like, I'm going to have him do it with this episode.
Yeah.
And then
I do remember this. It's all coming back to me now. You walk in there, and the best part about it was was me and Grant on the sidelines, like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you walk in and you're like, hey, and he's like, yeah, what's up? Do you want to talk about something? You're like, no. And he's like, okay. And we're like, come on. You say anything. Literally anything. Like, say something.
Well, because that was my thing. Was I was like, I wanted them to talk, but my main thing was with Riniya. Riniya was just going to sit and enjoy Cather. Like, she was getting Cather's help, and she was going to stay with Cather. I wanted her to kind of get a, like, check-in on him with the Melora situation.
He seems fine.
But I was also like, I'm going to challenge Drew. Drew, say something. and so when you guys are doing that, I'm literally sitting there going, come on, Drew, say something. You can say anything you want.
Because I know that part of it was Drew playing the character of Cather that was like, I don't know what to do here. I don't even know what she wants. And then the other part of it was just legitimately Drew being like, I don't know why she's here. I don't know what she wants. What does she want me to say? I asked her if she wanted to talk. She said no, so we're not going to talk. We're like, Drew, this is a show. You have to roleplay.
Well, and did he ask if I had, well, like, she didn't have anything she was coming to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was trying to open it up for if there was something.
For him to actually engage in the conversation.
If he had an element of Cather he wanted to talk about, since he forgot Melora, just read through her journal.
No, he's
like,
fine.
Blah, blah, blah. If he wanted to talk about, because I knew Tarak and Edward aren't gonna do that, so I was trying to do that.
So,
but
just as a little context, if there's someone in here who doesn't know who we're talking about, one of the other members of the cast, Drew, plays a paladin named Cather, who is, in the most, like, romanticized way, incredibly stoic. Stoic to the point of idiocy at some points in time, where you're just like, okay, wow, he really has no idea how to talk to people, huh? Where he's just like, going to stand there majestically with my traps glistening in the moonlight and gaze off into the wind.
but then once he did get started, it did kind of derail a little bit.
Then it just went places.
Then it just kept rolling.
Once you
kept rolling, and I was like, oh,
it just flows like
whoa.
water. It's like, my dark past shall never. He's like Batman. He's like elvish Batman. Like, man, he will be so stoic and brood as hard as possible, but if you get the monologue going, you're in trouble. Because
where I was going, once we got onto that train of thought, where Riniya was going with it was, I don't think Cather realizes that it was like, that he was in love with Melora.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
like,
yeah.
And is it okay, like, but yeah, it's like he doesn't, but even with, like, reading the journals and things like that, I don't think he understands just how much that was. And
I do actually think that this is a tactical play from Drew. I think that this is absolutely
no, and I love it. But that's where Riniya was trying to gauge. She was like, do I tell you that how much you loved her? Or do I not?
So this is my thought on it. I don't think that Cather even really remembers that the level of feeling that he had is a possible thing. So it's kind of like you know how like adults will explain to kids, like, after they, like, break up with a girlfriend or something, they're like,
yeah,
that you don't even know, like,
he doesn't remember that.
So, like, to him, he doesn't even remember that level of experience. So if you were to say, like, oh, yeah, you like, loved this person, what is he to compare it to?
Right.
If he's like, the most I've ever loved someone is this, so I must have loved them that much, and I feel fine about that now. He doesn't remember the, like, height or distance that he has, like, he had climbed previously.
Yeah.
It's, I'm just saying, struggling wrong. How can you miss something you don't remember?
Well,
Which
and
is
Riniya,
so evil.
like Riniya's like super torn up about it too, because she's like, I don't want him to feel that heartbreak. I don't want him to feel that loss of that love.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she's like, but does Melora deserve to not even be remembered like that anymore? Which is just heavy, man.
Well, at least her cousin still remembers her.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. We love cousins.
It's gotta love them. How, how?
So yeah, so that conversation was a long one, but a good one.
Oh, man.
Then
breathed so wrong right there.
What?
Ow.
Are you okay?
No, I'm good. I just breathed wrong. And then, like, my lungs were like, I'm gonna die.
Next part was Edward and Cather talking. I loved where Edward went in that conversation.
Refresh my memory.
Because he was going along the lines, which I love, because that's literally where Riniya's brain is at. Is with these, like, the gods of fate and like, deciding where you end up and blah, 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 blah. Where he was like, is that really fair? Is that a fair way for people? Like, what if people didn't even get the chance? Which is literally Riniya's mindset. She's like, Riniya's very much of this mindset of, like, but that's not fair. If you get put into a light, she's like, if I never left the cult, like, if I never got that kind of thing, I'd still be in the cult and, like, things like that and wouldn't know any better. And so that's where she's like, so would I then be banished to the abyss by these things that weren't even my doing, kind of deal? It's a big moral dilemma, and I love that Edward is now on that.
My favorite
track.
thing is that Drew is stuck with dealing with it. like my favorite part about, like, campaigns where you have this genre of character that is, like, very deep and introspective and, like, asking really big questions, is that they're most likely questions that have already been asked and we still don't have answers to. And so then you turn to this, like, hello, I'm a 19-year-old child. Sir, if we die, what did it ever truly mean to live? And he's like, look, bro, I haven't even taken a philosophy course. I'm not equipped to answer these questions. Like,
well, and honestly,
go ask Plato, God.
That's kind of what I want to see from Cather. Is I want to see Cather be like, I don't know.
No. He's
like, no. I want to see that.
He is a child of the gods, Lydia. He
No.
doesn't not know the answer. He is the warrior of fate. Of course he knows the answer.
But he doesn't.
But no, it's not that he doesn't know. It's just that you're not ready to hear the answer yet.
Oh, right.
Well, as a normal person who isn't a champion of fate, and in fact has gone against it multiple times, do you really deserve to know?
Stupid. Anyway.
I now remember the Cather Edward conversation. I remember this. I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm excited to see Edward get over it. And by it, I mean his entire life. Edward has been a long-running character of, I really wish that this kid would stop being such a kid. And the thing is, I think that he'll get there eventually.
Well, I feel like this conversation kind of showed that he's not doing that.
He's working it. He is out there. He is getting it.
Uh-huh.
Now, is he there yet? No.
No.
I think
but he's much more there than he used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with this 100%. I was talking to Grant a while ago, and I was like, Grant, I really want to see, first off, I want to see Grant step out of his, like, shell of safety. Because right now, Edward is very much a character that is, like, in some ways, it is both very hard and very easy for Grant to play. Like, Grant is really good at goofy and, like, comic relief. He thrives. He tends to struggle when things get, like, serious. Like, if he wants to play a like, serious, like, responsible adult character, sometimes Grant can struggle. And I want to push boundaries. I want to get him out there. I want to be like, Grant, that right there, that was incredible. Just, like, taking charge. But, like, the things that he's taking charge with are, like, good. And not, like, oh, no. Because, like, there have been times in the past where Edward has, like, stepped up and been like, I think that we should do this. And then the thing that he suggests is, like, we should just burn the poor. They can't be poor if they're dead.
No, he's never been like that.
Not to that extent. But, like, he'll, like, offer up a suggestion and we're like, Grant. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see Grant develop both as an actor and as a player. Really get out there and do some cool stuff. And be like so the thing is, the difficult part about the thin line that Grant walks with Edward is really just a normal person, which is actually way more difficult to roleplay in a lot of ways than, like, what we do. We play insane people.
Yeah.
That are like, if you look at the alignment chart, which I'm not a huge fan of the alignment chart in a lot of realms.
But yeah, if you break it down to, like, its very base kind of deal.
In general, most people are neutral. Like, sometimes they're neutral good, neutral evil, but, like, or not even evil and good, just, like, sometimes they're lawful neutral or chaotic neutral. Like, they either value, like, regiment or freedom. That's kind of how I view it. The only time that real people get to those, like, evil and good levels are probably when they're a little bit crazy. Like, to be that devoted to being, like, good or evil or lawful or chaotic. And so, like, for, like, the Paladins, like me and Drew, it's so easy. Because you just have a code, and then you just do that. You don't have to, like... You don't have to be like, For, like, you're, like, definitely more on that chaotic end.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just like, I don't know what's going on. Yeet. But, like, Edward's a normal dude. He's just, like, a pretty normal guy. And so he can't stray too far in either direction, or else it, like, fundamentally changes who he is. And so Grant is walking this tightrope of character management that is like, I need to step out there and say something, but not say something to the point where it's like, I become a religious zealot. Like, Tarak can become a religious zealot whenever he wants, because he's an orc and that's, like, what they do. Same thing with Cather. If Cather wants to stand up and be like, forsooth, children of the gods, the divine hand, has stepped down to deliver punishment to those that are unjust. You can do that. Edward steps up there and says that, and he gets booed off the stage. Which is, I'm just really excited to see him find that midline. Also, I agree absolutely, Maz, with the alignment chart being whack and confining people. I think that it's a good, like, if you need a fallback, like, if you're I sometimes use it, like, when I get surprised, when someone asks me a question that I'm super unprepared for, and I just go, I'm chaotic good. Okay, bam, done. And then it just, the most vague, like, card county, like, answer.
Right. Well, and my thing with the alignment chart is it's like there's so many different interpretations of what that stuff means. Like, because I heard one that was really interesting as far as the, like, good and evil, where it's evil isn't this out to ruin the world kind of mindset, but it's more of a self-centered one. where
I
it's
have
about your own preservation and your own goals and not caring about other people's in terms of that.
it also differs if from a game point perspective from edition to edition. So like if you look back at like first through third edition, I believe, I'm not entirely sure on that, there was a good plane and there was an evil plane. Like good and evil were tangible physical effects that could like be enacted and called upon. Like it was like, I summon evil, and it was something you could hold in your hand. Now they have gotten rid of that like divine plane of good and divine plane of evil. Like those are gone. So it's much more of a like a moral alignment chart than a physical aspect. The way, well, first off, one of the things that I've always said, just to kind of show the flimsiness of it, is the only difference between lawful good and chaotic evil is that between chaotic good and lawful evil is that lawful evil has rules. And I was actually talking to one of the like prime people in my development as both a person and like a Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering player, who is the owner of my like local game store, about this topic. And have you ever seen the show Dexter?
I've heard about it.
So he used the main character Dexter to explain his kind of views on the alignment chart, which is lawful just means you have a code. Insert any code, and you follow it very regimented. Chaotic just means you value freedom. So you are more willing to choose your own choice than some other random code, and it tends to change. The character Dexter is a serial killer, who is also like a crime scene investigation guy, really, really smart. And he asked me like, what do I think Dexter would classify as on the alignment chart? And I was like, I don't know, probably like lawful evil or something like that. And he was like, to me, Dexter is lawful good. And I was like, well, this is a surprise. And he's like, well, if you think about it, the only people that Dexter kills are other killers. They're people he deems evil because they are evil. Like they are serial killers and like people who like assault women on the street and like kidnap kids and stuff like that. Those are crimes, and his punishment is death. He is judge, jury, and executioner. He doesn't kill people who aren't already evil, therefore making him, in his mind at least, even though murder is still a crime, he is lawful good. He has a code that he follows. He does not kill anyone beyond those people. Like, even if he thinks that it would be the better thing to do. Lawful good. And that really, like, opened my view of it to be like, wow, there's a lot of different options here. I knew it would be you, Grant.
I knew you would, too.
Grant!
Yeah, you're, I don't know, am I neutral good?
I don't know,
for
man.
doing this? What kind of alignment as an act of me getting Aaron a large high C is it, chat?
You know what's crazy is
No way. I knew you liked high C.
Yeah,
so I got you more high C. I figured last time that I got you food, you were like, I already ate. I'm full. And so this time I decided to get you just a drink.
Well, thanks,
You
Grant.
made it. You made it across the room. It's pretty impressive.
Off the sound pads.
Yeah. Yeah, also, I've been listening.
Yeah?
This episode is fire. Like, you guys are on point right now. I'm not even kidding. Table Scraps has evolved. I bet if you go back to the first table talks...
Oh, man, it was
I
wild.
bet it was just horrendous. But it feels like a talk show, man. This is, like, fantastic.
Well, I mean, it is a talk show.
I really want one day just, like, a full, like, multiple song, like, background set for you. So you can cue any kind of music you want.
I mean, look.
One day.
I mean, so here's a little in-depth view into, like, kind of what I'm thinking for the future.
Oh boy. This is some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would be optimal? Because right now we have Drew queuing up the music while we play.
Mm-hmm.
What would be optimal is to have the DM do it.
Right. And there are ways to do that. I think we just need to switch stuff
exactly.
around.
We just need to switch some things. Because then the DM knows the type of vibe that's going on. He can change it in time with his voice and stuff. He just needs the setup to be able to do so. So, like, that would also take so much... like
but
time and energy.
DJ.
I mean, yes, DJ is.
He just breaks the board on accident.
Look, all
he
right.
can handle it. Well, Drew is acting a character, and so when you're doing that, your mind is other places.
Mm-hmm. And so that'll allow Drew to like focus more on the game and be more ready, and just be
maybe force DJ to be more creative.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
God, that kid.
I'm talking more about his like technological struggles.
I mean, accurate.
Did you translate? What is Lydia saying?
She's talking more about his technological struggles.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're just clicking a button on a little website, then I think. Yeah,
you would think.
We'll workshop it. But if I had you, have something where you could be like, ooh, it's a sad moment. It could just be like dramatic sad music.
Oh, exactly.
Like, and it would be great.
As we go. Well, look, we will develop things in the future.
Sure.
Can I also reveal that we've got plans for like points and stuff?
Yeah, I actually, you could say it, or I could, because
I'm down.
I've had some thoughts that I haven't told you.
So, as of now, the last time we played, I can't remember who it was. They were like really excited to use up their channel points.
Oh yeah, we've all got like so many points.
Mm-hmm. I sent in the chat. I'm like, hey, you might still want to save those. We got some things planned. And I'm really looking to figure out, along with Grant here, ways to spend channel points that will give benefits to players, but not actually intercede on the story.
Which is a tough line to walk.
It's a really difficult line to walk. Now, I can't tell you for sure anything, because right now, the only ideas that have been generated are between me and DJ. But I think they're really cool. And so, like, the goal is to eventually have ways that, like, combinations of channel points or bit donations or something along those lines add or combine into some like on-screen visual effect that the players could then use and DM could then use as well in the game as kind of an additional resource, almost like being able to grant us inspiration or something along those lines.
And I believe, is it Dimension 20 that did something?
It was the C Team. If any of you have ever seen the C Team, the Acquisitions Incorporated like spin-off group, they do something similar. Now, we could not do that.
It wouldn't be quite the same. It would still be somewhat original.
But something along those lines.
This is the thing I hadn't talked to you about, but to get, we've already, I think literally once, just because I was having a bit of fun, I can, from my end, pretty easily control like polls and predictions and stuff, which is a way people can use channel points live. It doesn't influence the game. It's just a fun way to interact.
Interestingly enough, the C Team also does something similar.
No
except
way.
theirs do influence the game.
Oh my!
So there'll be
there's
things,
so much to talk about.
There'll be like a side. Sorry, Lydia, you don't get to talk much here. There's like a side poll,
I'll be skedaddling soon.
And the poll asks a question about an NPC. So it's like, after this, does John the bartender go into acting or become a mercenary?
That's kind of fun.
And then like they'll do that, and then later on you may see this NPC again. Yeah. And it's been affected. Now, I don't think that we're going to do that.
It would take some workshopping.
And we also, it's a difficult thing.
That's kind of fun. But I wanted to say, before I skedaddle, it's also possible for us to have special channel point, like, redemptions that are specifically for table scripts or table talks. It could be anything goofy because we're not acting or doing a storyline.
So this is a lot more available for like sound effects or anything like that.
Sure, sound effects or a lot of different things. Like it could be you crushing a can. We couldn't do that during the main campaign, but like here somebody could redeem it, and if you had a can on hand. I'm just gonna have to drink so much. Yeah, you will. It's gonna have to be a part of your job. But that's another option because we can just basically put those channel points, quote unquote, out of stock during the actual show. We just have to make sure to manage that. So yeah, channel points and stuff. We've talked about it for a long time, but eventually it will happen. So
we'll get there.
Well, you guys keep doing the chronological thing, because I've been enjoying
Thanks
that.
Thanks for interrupting our stream, Grant.
Yeah, it's kind of become a Thursday ritual. You guys, like, start right before I get off
love
work,
this ritual. You
get a free food or drink.
Yeah, you show up and give me stuff. I need to stop buying food on Thursdays.
Lydia, it was really nice to see you. I'm sorry that I couldn't, like, talk to you, but... Yeah, you guys keep going. You guys are killing it. Bye, chat.
I don't know why I waved there. You're over there.
It's
Bye,
okay.
Grant. That was Grant. He's our worst player on the paper dungeon. Oh, man. Where were we? What were we even talking about before that fool gosh dang ruined my life?
We were talking about Edward
alignment
conversation.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, and then we got on to the alignments.
I pretty much finished my alignment statement.
Well, yeah. I remember what I was going to say with the alignment. Well, and that's been a kind of hot topic in our campaign too, as far as what is good and evil and blah 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 blah, which is just interesting. But
it is. It's a difficult statement. Now, the weirdest part about it to me is that the kind of relic and tradition of good and evil being physical things still there are like remnants of it in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with like the icon of good, the icon of evil, or the Tome of Ultimate Evil, I think it is, and like other magic items that can only be attuned to creatures of a certain alignment, which is like no one uses that. Literally no one does. It's right. Like if your character decides, I think that it is the correct thing for me to attune to the Tome of Ultimate Evil, then you're probably not a very good person. Like that's the like level that we've got here. And it's so weird to see that it's still there.
Yeah.
But yeah. We should move on from this topic, because if we don't, I'm gonna be thinking about it for days.
Okay. So they have their conversation.
I throw people off the boat.
You give the gauntlets back.
Yes. I give the gauntlets.
You were talking about giving the gauntlets away.
And then I do in the episode. I give them to
Edward.
So we need to remind Edward to get those on his character sheet. So now Edward is magically jacked.
Magically strong.
Got some thick gauntlets. Could wear them as shin guards. I actually think that would be kind of great. Could you imagine if he's like, I'm going to wear these underneath my pants because I don't want people to see me wearing these gross metal things.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, and that's actually, so that is actually a bit more meaningful to Tarak than it may seem at first. First off, that's
to Edward?
I mean, not necessarily to Edward, but just giving them up, like, in general. The gauntlets are very vital to Tarak in a lot of ways. Like, you saw a little bit of it after he threw everyone off the boat, but he was like, that was probably cheating. I'm not actually that strong. Like, these gauntlets gave me the strength to be able to do that. And he's absolutely right. Like, without the gauntlets, I think his strength is like, without the gauntlets is like maybe a 14, and that's I think with a +2 from Iraq Faraz. He's like not a strong guy, which was a big part of his character. Like at the start of it, is that like the rest of the orcs were all ripped, and then there was like little Tarak who was not good at the whole strength aspect. And so like that's giving away kind of a safety blanket in a lot of ways, and also it was a huge gift from you to him. Like Riniya giving him those gauntlets, being like, I think that you could use these better, was like incredibly important for Tarak, because like that's basically you saying that you trusted him to do things that would require strength, like fighting or like lifting things. No one had ever done that before. And it's also kind of a promise, because now he is not going to be as good at hitting things in combat. His strength has gone down. Like, he had like a plus 12. I think he's got like a plus 9 now, something like that. Maybe a plus 10. Which just, I mean, still a big modifier because my weapons are jacked. But like, you know, it's just different.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see how Edward changes with that. Like, it would be interesting if he became actually useful.
God.
Like, maybe he just needed some strength to get in there and deal a whole extra like 3 damage with his rapier. Because now, especially with strength, the idea of using strength with a rapier is hilarious. Because it's less like, I'm going to keenly thrust at specific weak points and just like swinging a little light, like thin whip-like blade, like just hit him on the head with it. I love it. And so I'm excited to see what Edward can do with it.
Well, and I'm excited with the outside knowledge that like you've talked about, where he's also giving them away because that's not the kind of fighting you're going to have him do anymore.
Oh yeah,
so I'm excited for that element of it.
I mean, he's barely going to do pretty much any fighting. Like, the longer we get into the campaign, the higher level I get, the less taking the attack action I can actually do. And then once you get to level 20, I won't. Like, there's like a 10, I wouldn't even say 10% likelihood on a turn of me actually attacking something. Because at 20th level, which is the strongest Paladin level, because that's when you get your final ability, he becomes like an icon of redemption, that any damage, he is resistant to all damage. Anything that hits him is halved. And then the enemies take half of the damage that he has dealt. And so then, like, if you hit me for 10, I take 5, you take 2. And it's just like, the thing is, that is removed towards that target if I attack them or cast a, like, intended to be dangerous spell. So, like, if I cast Hold Person for the explicit purpose of people beating you up, no good. If I cast Calm Emotions to, gosh dang, calm everyone down and, like, settle this equally, then that's fine. Which is not how it's worded in the thing, but it's, if you don't word the actual final ability, it is the worst written ability in Dungeons & Dragons. It basically says, if you choose to do anything other than stand there, you lose your strongest ability in the game. And you're like, literally most of my abilities do stuff like that. I can't even use it. And they're like, no, you can't use any ability that you've gotten up until this point. You can only stand there and have people hit you with swords. It's like, okay, so I hit level 20 and I turn into a statue. So yeah, the farther we get in the campaign, the less attacking I get to do. So I don't really need strength. Honestly, if the weapons that I had didn't do cool stuff, I would get rid of the weapons too, and I would just start getting like support magic items and things like that. But the ability to give 50 temporary HP and everyone gets 20 strength is pretty good.
It's pretty great.
It's
especially since we're all squish except Cather. Me and Edward.
I would prefer, honestly, if it didn't have that ability, I would unattune to a Rock for Ross as well. Because like, he doesn't really need weapons. Like, he can still carry a Rock for Ross, that's fine, but he can't really like attune to it. Same thing with the spear. The nice thing about the spear is it doesn't allow certain status effects. The status effects are honestly almost as important as the 50 HP. Because like Track getting charmed or like stunned and stuff like that, those are problems. Track can't do his job if he's got problems. But yeah, I got some plans. I got some plans for the future. Some stuff that I've got in the works for different magic items and things. And I've already got one now. I got that sick tattoo.
That's true.
It's a magic
But we're
item.
not there yet.
But it's a magic item.
We're not there yet.
Oh, dang.
Chronological.
What are we doing?
Chronological order.
Well, what now?
So you threw everybody off the boat.
Throw everyone off the boat. What did we do?
And what did we do next? Was it the tattoo?
I think it might have been. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's tattoo. Go ahead. Do your tattoo.
No, did you talk to, what's his face, Grotz? Or was that after?
I don't remember which came first.
I don't think it really matters. No, it had to be the Grotz thing because Track was shirtless. So you would have seen the tattoo when you walked in.
Do we not know you have the tattoo yet?
Well, I mean, you may have seen it, but, you guys knew that he was getting tattooed and may have seen the tattoo, but he was not tattooed during the breakfast scene, I don't think.
Okay. So then we go and do Grotz thing. That was fun. Because
it was at breakfast that I talked to the Tanar and was like, hey, Lasha, can I see you?
That's right. Yes. Yeah, no,
And you were reading your book after you got thrown off the boat, which is...
Yes.
We're getting there. We're picking it together.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So I go and I get to have Grotz time, which I was really happy about. I wanted to get something in before we got back to the camp and all that, because I knew once we got there, it's gonna be focus
hectic.
And drive moment. So I'm like, I'm gonna get my moment in now.
Good plan.
And I'm gonna have my Grotz time, and then we're gonna go on from there.
I'm taking a nap now.
I'm just taking a nap right here. Good night. I struggled because I knew I wanted to get a Grotz moment in this episode before we get to the thing and the more stuff. And also, it was off like full week. Of course, she's gonna go and see Grotz at some point in that week. My thing with it though is I always want to have something planned. Yeah. As far
so it
as
isn't just you show up and you're like, hey, I want to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
Blah, blah, blah. Because that's boring. Nobody wants to watch that.
We're here to entertain or something.
Blah, blah, blah.
Gross.
If it's ever that, it's Riniya's going to go and hang out with Grotz and that's it. And we're not going to role play them just hanging out. But I really wanted her to give the drawing of the mushroom because that was just fun. I doodled it and I was like, I want to see DJ react to this.
I love the fear in DJ's eyes. When you're like, here, look at this. And he's like, haha. And you're like, what did you say? And he's like, no, it's great. It's great. And you're like, Zone of Truth. Was it great? Grotz? Was it?
Use legendary resistance to not answer.
Oh, man.
What, you don't trust me? Not right now.
Got a problem? Is this not good? Do you not
I had
like
a lot of fun. I think that was the most fun Grotz encounter I've had. Was this last episode. And then also just walking in with him in the booty shorts and the apron.
Oh, man. So I did not mean for that. So, okay. So I heard that, and I was like, first off, this is so not traditional Grotz, which makes it hilarious. And I have no problem with that. I think it's great. But I've got to do something.
And I love that you did.
I've got to do something with it.
But that's the one thing I do want to talk about is I love our version of Grotz.
Oh, yeah. He's just this, I am the embodiment of sexual ambition. But at the same time, I'm just a brain-dead himbo.
It's... It's like he's this really high in command, intimidating person when we first meet. And then you get to know him and you're just like, who are you?
I guarantee you that if he would have been listening to music, it would have been ABBA. Not a doubt in my mind. I guarantee you Grotz is a huge ABBA fan.
Oh my gosh. But
yes,
that was
walking
nice.
His desk and he's like, see that girl? Watch that face.
Anyway,
he looks around. He's like, "Oh, the bodies hit the floor."
And then, I think DJ handled it really, really well with everything I threw at him with that. I also had to message him and be like, yo, DJ, okay, I've got like 2 things planned, but I need time in between them. So but they're both with Grud, so I need you to kind of do a filler thing. Can you maybe like do something with the feat she just got with Warcaster and blah, 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 and have him teach her that stuff? So that's what that was. So he taught her the Warcaster feats, because she got the Warcaster feat with the last level up. And then...
hey, you want to know something cool? I'm just gonna throw in here as a thing that's technically possible with the Warcaster feat.
What?
You can, one of us can run past you, and you can make an opportunity attack against us, and instead cast a spell with the Warcaster feat, and then like cast Cure Wounds. Technically
true.
Possible. Technically
I
possible.
could do that. Well, I'm really excited too, because I was looking at future level ups, and I've got a cool plan on invocations I can take.
Ooh. I love cool invocations.
But I'm not gonna. I'll spill that tea when we get there.
Ooh.
But yeah.
So
and then
stay here on Table Scraps in the future to get some behind the scenes info.
Oh God, there's a loud sip.
Good plug. It was right in line with the mic. I really tried.
But yeah, then she spent the night there. Then we go, and she gets them to I love that we got Grotz to come and have breakfast on the ship.
Oh man.
I love that we got to do
it's
that.
It's a beautiful day.
It was. I love that it was a 2. It was like DJ says 2% chance.
They rolls a D20.
2. Exactly. But it was just that he was like, it needs a 2, and he rolls a 2. I was like, okay.
It's meant to be.
You gotta give
God
it.
Intended. Oh man.
So yeah.
And I felt so bad, but also not at all.
For what?
When you guys walk in and I'm like, I didn't even let DJ describe the scene. He was literally just like, yeah, no. So you and Gross head through the door, and I'm like, so anyway, Tarak is in the kitchen. No shirt, just an apron and booty shorts. Just flipping up something on a page. Oh, Riniya! And I didn't expect everyone else to jump in either. Like, I expected Catherine to be like...
Everybody joined.
Be like,
and then
I
you
don't
guys
know
were
what's happening
talking
either, or something.
The weirdest way. I was like, I was genuinely uncomfortable with the way you guys were just speaking.
So you know what it is? If you compare that conversation to the same conversation that Edward and I had after you killed Cather, the same speech patterns.
It was
it's identical.
Like, in this situation,
like,
it was so weird. It was like, why are you talking like that?
Oh,
no.
Man. Oh, it was so good. Well, the reason is because I'm smiling so much that I can't go into my track voice. So it's just like, oh yeah, hey guys, what's going on? Which is like, it lifts the palate and also the larynx upwards. Which pushes the sound forward towards my nose, which makes Tarak sound really weird and kind of goofy, because I can't speak in the normal voice like this when I have to have my jaw put forward when my mouth is all raised up and I'm talking like this, and it's fine.
But I really loved what you guys did with that scene, because I was really doing it because, like, I wanted a little bit more Grotz interaction, but I didn't want it to just be me, so I wanted to bring him out to the group and things like that, and let you guys interact with Grotz. And you guys took it and ran, and it was beautiful. I'm so happy.
How he was completely fine with this. Where he's like, is this not a normal thing? This is great. I love this. This here?
That's good. This is cool.
I like that.
We're down with this. Yeah.
Man, I wish that I could isolate that audio, because that is such a TikTokable audio. So like, man, I love this. This is great. Is this not normal? I like this. That's so TikTokable. I'm just saying.
Well, you just said it. I'll TikTok it.
No, but there was a chuckle. It's not the same.
Okay, do it again. Sorry.
No, it's too late. I can't do it again.
Well, I'm gonna make it anyway. So deal with it.
Embarrassed.
No, I didn't know. Yeah, so then there was the breakfast. I loved all the interactions.
Oh man, you want some hotcakes?
So, yeah, Grotz is here. Don't worry, I made more.
Oh man, And I was so surprised. Like, I figured that Grant would join in if Drew did. Like, the moment Drew joined in, I'm like, oh, here comes Grant. But I did not expect Grant to do, gosh dang, I can't even speak. Drew to do that. Like, to be like, oh yeah, no. Cather's right next to him, also shirtless in an apron, and like cross-country shorts, like the short, like up, like above mid-quad shorts. And I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing today. I was just planning to do the I love making fun of the DM making a joke. If you look back through the campaign, I do it actually pretty often, where DJ will just be like, haha, this funny thing, which is meant to be like really out of character for a different person, and then I make it totally a canon thing in the whole campaign for multiple people. And I just repeat the exact same words, normally up to 3 times because of, rule of threes and what that. And then it was great. Everyone else joined in. I was like, oh, this is going excellent. It's just a bunch of hot dudes in aprons and booty shorts cooking food.
I loved when I'd be like, you literally like sleep in your armor. Why are you doing this now?
He's like, exactly. I figured it was time for a change. Trek actually doesn't like wearing armor.
Really?
Yep, bold claim. Like, he would much rather not wear armor.
But he's always had to.
Also going to die if he doesn't.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's just what he does. In fact, most orcs don't wear a lot of armor. Like, that is not, like, first off, they don't have the resources for it. It's not like they have, like, vast amounts of metal to make plate mail. And also, that's just, like, not an orcish thing. They wear a lot of, like, of hide, and just, the most of them are, like, barbarians and monks. So, like, you don't really need armor if you're just that jacked. Yeah. And I've got some plans for the future that he may not be wearing plate mail forever. Just to make your life difficult, Lydia. Because you drew that art with plate mail.
Well, I mean, I hate drawing armor, so...
That'd be great. Yeah, a bunch of hot dudes and Edward. Hey, he's working on it. All right?
Hey,
he's getting the gains.
Hey, he's canonically, like...
He's getting fit. Look, his genetics are great. The problem is that he just hasn't put in the work yet to really obtain that, like, diamond cut ab situation. All right? Like, if we go through some hit core workouts...
He may not be a Cather, but I don't think anybody can be a Cather.
That's true, and we do need to get him a tan. Because that kid has been in his room way too long. He is pasty and gross.
I love that literally in the art, though, he is significantly tanner than Riniya. Yeah. Riniya is the pale one.
So in my canon, Edward is like the color of glue. That is my headcanon for like...
He's not, though.
I know, and he's been like on the road for a long time. So he's definitely more tanned. That's just where my head goes. He's just like... He's this, like, pasty white rich kid who, like, he's like, no, I do Pilates.
He's literally not that kind of character at all.
I know. That's just where my head goes. It's my head canon. It's called a head canon for a reason.
Oh my gosh.
This is why you should never let me draw Edward ever. It would be bad. I actually did. That's Boggle.
No. No.
Boggle is just how I see Edward. That exact color and shape and everything. So he's got cheeks though. Edward be thick. We know it.
Anyway, what happens next?
Well, I do want to know the answer to your question about the commission.
Just keep an eye on Discord. Just keep an eye on Discord.
Ooh, the answer is probably free.
Most TPD art, I just get excited and do. So, then, there's a thing. I love that I'm gonna start getting kidnapped again.
Look, but at least no.
As long as I'm like, as long
this
as
is at least
not
consensual
frickin'...
kidnapping. When you're like, yeah, like, you know, Wednesday nights
Get
at 7.
grabbed.
Sure, I'll pick you up. Make sure that I'm back by midnight. Like, that's fine. Look, we're fine with it. You can do anything you want on your like own time, as long as it isn't like a surprise. Like, if we think that you get kidnapped every couple of days by a different malicious force, that's a problem. But if it's like, oh, I totally forgot, it's Wednesday. Gratz picked her up, didn't he? She'll be back in like, I don't know, 5 hours? Longer? She might stay the night depending on how she's feeling. That's fine. That's fine. That's totally okay. If we can get Malice to schedule kidnappings like that, primo. I'm in. So, yeah, that was a good time.
That was a good time. That was a good scene.
We also got to see more of Cook Tarak.
Yeah, I love Cook Tarak.
I am a better cook than your mom. And he's like, how dare you?
Was it Grant who was talking about how Tarak should open a restaurant called The Crimson Tastes?
Yes, he did say that.
Or Scarlet Tastes?
I don't know.
The Look, red.
When we eventually have a mansion in this game, there will be, like, you know those, like, how really rich people have, like, a built-in McDonald's in their house? Or, like, their own gas station? That's going to be us, but it's just going to be Tarak runs it. It's going to be, like, visitors can go in, and they're like, ooh, a gift shop. Oh my god, is that the Crimson Tastes? And then they can go get some food. Yes, I do plan on turning our eventual mansion into a tourist destination.
Oh,
get that cash inflow. Like,
whew. But yeah, okay, tattoo time. Talk about your tattoo.
Oh, yes. Track after breakfast. He's already shirtless. He might as well. It's a perfect opportunity. He goes and he finds Umlasha, the Tanar of Luthic, to go give him a tattoo. And I managed to roll an 18 on die for a 30, because Track's real good at persuasion, to be like, look, this tattoo will hurry my death. I think that you'd be into that. She's like, you're speaking my language, buddy. Grant.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Let it die. Let it die, buddy. Let it go.
Anyway, tattoo.
Yes. So in the lore for this world, one of the things that blew DJ's mind when I was talking about like orcs and some of their stuff is that he had never thought of orcs in any other role other than like the classic like warrior, barbarian, like strength, like swords and stuff. And I brought up that there were orcish paladins, like champions of their gods that were traditionally from the children of Luthic, like the female priests of Luthic, because Luthic herself is a female, they take the like higher role in their like caste, and so they often learn magic and like potions and cool like murder stuff. Although there are male priests of Luthic, they're just less common. It's literally a genetic thing. Like, some of them grow claws, and then the ones that don't but are still children of Luthic become paladins. And the thing about those claws is that they coat them almost in like poisonous nail polish. Mm-hmm. Each hand has a different like purpose, and one hand neutralizes the poison of the other hand, but both are poisons. They'll both kill you. And so in order to empower their paladins, they will carve like lines and tattoos that like interlace with each other with their claws, to create this like kind of scar tattoo that like ripples and flows, and then the poisons neutralize each other as they cross different points. So it's an incredibly painful purpose, but like when they fight, the tattoos like glow and like power moves through them. It's meant to like show the path of magic through the body. And different tattoos do different things. They have different purposes. They're just meant to perform whatever task the paladin needs them most to do is the kind of tattoo that they get. Oh man, 67% on It's Too Risky? Whew. Let me just change that right there. It would be a shame. But yeah, the tattoo that Track got, I have like a semi-visual in my mind, but also not a full one, so I tried to keep the explanation very vague. But normally the Paladins of Luthic are focused on Luthic. Like, that's what they do. If there is a Paladin of a different Tanar, then they have a tattoo that matches their god. But Track has, like, never really felt like he was a child of Beatrice. Or at least that he didn't super deserve to be. And he has often, like, encroached other gods to, like, grant him strength at different points in time. He's called on Luthic, he's called on Ilnaval, Grumpsh, like, pretty much all of them. I think he's even asked Shargoth for strength at one point in time. Mm-hmm. And so he wanted a tattoo that symbolized his allegiance to all of the gods while also being separate from them. So different iconography from all of the different sects of orc life. And now the purpose for it. Now, I don't have an exact confirmation of what it does. DJ and I had talked about it a while ago. Like, almost the episode after we got the tattoo stuff from the, like, library that we were in. That I made that sick joke about Tarak carrying the team.
Dead King's
Yep, that's Horde. The one. Dead King's Horde. And so the main purpose of it is I want Track to be able to do more stuff, which is kind of a dumb phrase. I know one thing that it will do is that it will give him the ability to have 2 reactions per round, which is very good for Track. Track does a lot of, like, most of Track's important things are reactions. The thing is, I wanted it to come at a cost. Like, I don't want to just have 2 reactions per round. There isn't a class that does that. If they do have unlimited reactions or something along those lines, it is a very specific type of reaction. Mm-hmm. Like, Cavalier can make a reaction attack once per turn towards someone entering into his range or something like that. Mm-hmm. But this is just a reaction per round. And so the price of it is, at the end of combat, for each extra reaction he took, he gains a level of exhaustion. And so at most in a combat, he can make 6 extra reactions, and then at the combat, he just dies. Because that is what happens when you reach 6 levels of exhaustion. Now, I don't expect to have to use it too often. Mm-hmm. And Track won't, like, abuse it or anything, but that means it's possible, which I think is cool. And it adds, like, a definite barrier and threat to it. Now, we'll do at least one other thing. I know that at one point in time, DJ and I had talked about it, like, maybe giving him the ability to cast haste on himself or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or some other, like, maybe adding to his, like, movement speed or some other effect. But the big part of it that is my favorite part is the, like, he can exhaust himself to take extra reactions per turn. Mm-hmm. I think that's super cool.
That's pretty cool.
And Track is in line. It will hasten his death in a way. Because it is, like, a potential way that he could cause himself, like, danger.
Yeah.
Like, running himself ragged, trying to like, help people, which is such a Track move, and I love it.
Facts. Yeah.
And it's so cool. It's so visually aesthetic.
It sounds cool. I'm not excited to draw it. I am
the
excited.
most part it's on its back, so you shouldn't have to draw a whole lot. Like, at most, it would, like, curl around the sides.
Right.
So, probably won't have to, unless you want him to be in a sick, like, looking over the shoulder, like, pose, which is such not a Tarak thing. But he could. Yeah. You would recover from the exhaustion in the exact same way that you would normal exhaustion. So like it goes down 1 level per long rest. So if I go 5 levels of exhaustion, it would take 5 days for me to fully recover. And then each level of exhaustion has different effects. Like the first one, you have like disadvantage on skill checks. Eventually, you, like at level 5, you literally gain a movement speed of 0. Like you just can't move. You're too tired to move. If you gain 1 more level of exhaustion, you just die. That's accurate. If we get more scenes with Track and booty shorts cooking with only an apron on, so much back tat possibility. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. It's a thing that I've been looking for a long time. I want more magic items that like come with a cost. I'm all for good magic items, not nearly as cool as ones that suck.
No, and I love that. I love that, especially like with the stuff you play. You tend to find stuff that is really, really, really cool, but at its cost. And I love stuff like that. And I wish that got implemented more too. Yeah.
Oh man, if I'm ever DMing, that you're gonna find so many items that suck so bad to the point where you're like, man, I would really love to use this. It's too bad that the moment I do, I instantly die. I'm like, oh man, that would suck.
But I love those weighted decisions. That's
great.
Those are the fun ones.
I think I've already gone on topic of what I think good superhero powers are. And every single one of them needs to have some weird stipulation or cost to it. Like, for example, my personal favorite, if I had a choice of ability, of superpower to have, I would have the ability to stop time, but only for the length of an average movie credit. And in order to activate it, I would have to jump and then freeze frame in the air. And it would freeze all of time, and I couldn't move either. And we would all be fully conscious for, like, 2 to 5 minutes? And then it would take the average length of an 80s movie to recharge that ability. So it's literally just like, I'm really tired. I could use just a 5-minute breather. And just... All right, now back to work. And then we get going. 2 hours pass. We're good. I think it would be great. Now, the real awkward thing is I play a lot of volleyball. And it would be super awkward to like, yeah! And then I'm like, oh, sorry guys, this is going to be like 5 minutes. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. We're just, hold on. When you walk on by, when you call my name, ha! And like hit the ball. It would be great.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I love magic items that are like, you can do something really cool. Or even if it isn't like bad, but it's just like, for example, the thing that we have not focused on enough is that every single night, Edward has a chance to grow a full beard.
We keep forgetting about that.
I never forget. I just expect someone else to say it.
I don't remember it. I forget.
Every
I don't
night.
keep track of it.
Oh man, I just wanted to wake up. I just like Grant hates it. Grant hates it. But I'm like, think about it. Think about how cool is that? You like go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you just look like someone from Duck Dynasty. And it would be so good for like Edward, because Edward would hate that. But it's so funny. It's like the greatest. It's the greatest defect you could ever give a magic item specifically for Edward. That's just so good. I just love that. What happened next? What did we do?
So we got your tattoo.
Got a tattoo.
Then I think we just finished out the last days traveling. And then we arrive at the camp again.
There's a real awkward moment with Lotta.
Oh gosh, I'm so sad. I didn't really get the opportunity to have a moment with that, and I was really sad about that.
I kind of loved it, that it was so...
Well, I
like,
loved
normal.
I loved the Lada interaction. Like I loved when Lada was present, but when Lada left, I'm really sad because that one got overrun.
Mm.
I barely got to say anything on it before. I think it was Cather who was like, "We don't have time to talk about this now. Let's move on." And so I think I got to say, I got to ask who that was and how you guys knew her, and then you guys explained that she was the mother figure, and then that was all that was to that. And I was really sad because I really wanted there to be more to that, and I hope we get to go back.
Oh yeah,
Bring
it up next episode. Minimum, bring it up to Chirac, because I'll at least let you talk about it for an extended period of time. Frank and Edward, that's your goal. Catherine would be like, Riniya, we're in the middle of war. There's no crying in war.
Meanwhile, he just spent like 3 days looking over a journal about Melora.
No, that was...
It's different.
I was being stoic. I was brooding. That's what I do. I brood. And right now you're being rude about my brooding. I love Cather. I love him. Drew did a great job. It's just, this is how I make fun of him. I make fun of everyone. Gosh dang, Edward's a cocky little rich boy. Cather's a elvish Batman. And I don't know. Riniya's just weird.
But yeah,
cries
so
too much. I don't know.
I really do hope I get to go back on that because I feel like there's been a lot of recent reveals with Riniya that have not really gotten to get touched on. There's like her hubby, there's her dagger, and then there's Lada that I all hope will get to have a moment soon. But yeah, no, I really did like how casual the Lada thing was. I liked that it was very much.
Just like, do I know you? And you're like,
it gutted me.
So.
It gutted me when she was like, yeah, I've known them long enough that I see them as like my sons. And I was like, you're my NPC.
Meanwhile, the other three people like... like that was rough.
Oh, that hurt.
Man.
That one hurt a lot.
Catherine reminds you of the Robert Pattinson Batman. Oh man, so good. No, at least it's a good movie. He can't even be mad about that. He can't even be mad.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so we talk war stuff, and then Edward meets hot musician. Tapatio.
Freaking Marshall. What the heck?
That's good. That's quality. That's solid right there.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, Talia.
No, I don't think it was Talia.
Tapatio.
Hold on. Here's my note. Hold on.
Talila.
Hold on. I wrote it down. Hold on.
Terraform.
Tiala.
Oh, Tiala.
Close
enough.
Move the I.
Look, could have just named her
earlier.
Talia, and it would be way easier to remember.
Tiala Ella Sailor.
See, I'm gonna mess it up every time. You say it's Tiala?
Tiala.
I keep wanting to say Talia.
You got to think about it, because tea. Edward loves tea. Tiala.
I'm not gonna remember this.
Okay.
It would be even better to just call her T. I remember it that way, but I need to gum up. So this is the thing about me. I'm terrible with names. It took me 4 years to remember the name of my best friend in high school. Like, not even kidding. I knew him since like middle school, and it wasn't until sophomore year of high school that I actually knew his name. Like, it's maybe freshman year of high school. So what I do is, for some reason, I don't have that problem with nicknames. If I give you a nickname, I remember your nickname forever. So this is what I just need to do with the NPCs, is I just need to call them random nicknames. Like, I could call her T, and I'd remember T. Go, yeah, that's T. I'm not going to remember Tiala.
Tiala.
I legitimately was like Talia, and then I was like, no, that's wrong. I was like Talia. I'm like, no, that's just Talia with different emphasis on the letter. It has to be, and then I'm like, Tiala. That's the one. Yeah, she's some, I don't know, some moon elf lady who plays an instrument.
She's here now.
Yep, she's there.
She's here.
Insert gosh dang pushed romantic interest.
Facts.
Like, hey Edward. Wham! Just hits him with a board that just says romantic interest on it. Like, it wasn't even that subtle. It was like, hey Edward, there's this hot elf.
It was genuinely DJ being like, you don't have a choice in this.
No, she is going to pursue you, and you're going to pursue her. This is not a obligatory no.
Maz, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of get bad vibes from her too.
Oh, I hope that she stabs him in the back.
Like
that would make her at least interesting.
I get bad vibes, but
look, if she's good, I will be upset. If she is like a positive influence, I cannot believe that DJ would. I refuse to believe that.
I'm interested to see what DJ has planned.
That it would be so boring. We haven't had a single romantic interest who has betrayed us yet. What kind of Dungeons and Dragons campaign is that? No, I hope that she's like, Edward, it's time for our duet. And then she like pulled, like they're like playing like violin or whatever, and then like she like flicks out her bow and it turns into a knife and just stabs him, like insta death. Like I want femme fatale murder musician. This is what I want to see. It can even be it's better if it's a long pull. All right, like if it's like they hit it off in the next episode, they like go on a date or whatever, and they're like dating, and then like episode 110 is when she betrays us. Like, but she has to betray Edward. It's necessary. I need this. Track's already dead at that point. All right, there's no one defending Edward from murder, surprise death attacks. Just stab right through the back.
DJ, yeah.
DJ, so now you know this is I'm not going to expect when it happens, but I am expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So if she doesn't betray us, I'm going to be upset. We're all going to riot. I will call up the people who watch Table Scraps to riot. It'll happen.
We will do it.
Yeah, and then so Edward meets his pushed girlfriend. We go into the main tent and talk war strategy.
War!
And by that, I mean Catherine and I talk about war strategy.
War! Riniya stands awkwardly and
she's like, I don't know.
Messages Kiyomura.
What's up, babe? Mom, I'm scared. Could you please come pick me up?
Kiki, they're saying weird words.
It very much is the vibe with the like the Patrick Star in the sweatshirt, in the like sweater, the knit sweater, and it just says, "Mom, I'm scared. Come pick me up." That's was Riniya. That's how I viewed that entire scene. Riniya just standing there like, "Mom, I'm scared. Come pick me up." But yeah, this has been a thing a long time coming with the whole war strategy.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about it is the whole problem with Athala is, ooh, hold on. Mm-hmm. Just look, Trusora. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that episode is, I mean, not necessarily that episode, but that's the type of character that I want, is one that's just like, hey, I'm gonna kill you maybe. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But yeah, the whole war stuff has been going on, and I love it because everyone's like, the problem with sieging this like sieging Thala is their like defenses, and like it may be better to just clear everything around it and then just push them into the city. And Trek's like, I can siege a city. The orcs, if you can get the orcs close enough, we can do it. Mm-hmm. They're like, you are incredibly confident. He's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's absolutely. I'm 100% confident in this. I've been thinking about this for months. I don't know the ins and outs of this situation, and I've been literally, we went.
Well, and
we were at Thala.
Oh, I'm so glad that you thought this through, because we got there and they're talking the war thing. I'm like, I knew we were coming back to go to war, but I didn't think about any thought. I didn't put any thought into how we were actually going to do it.
The first time that DJ described the city of Athala, I was thinking, how could I beat it? I've been planning sieging Athala since like episode 5. I've been sitting here. I'm like, so it's in the mountain wall, little gap, big problem. We're basically sieging a like. Oh geez, there's the dwarven stronghold in the Hobbit. How would I do that? Big walls are a problem. I've been planning. I have like 5-pronged attacks in my mind. I literally at one point in time I looked up like medieval warfare, like classic battles, and how the progression of movement of soldiers went. Like, I am the only thing that will disappoint me is when DJ is not prepared for the amount of research that I've done, and then I'm not able to activate it. All of my plans, because there aren't plans in place for them to work. But I'm ready. I even have quotes and like statements that I'm ready to say at the drop of a hat when planning an attack that I'm just waiting to use.
I love it.
Like, we shall break them upon their walls like the sea against the stone. Like, I am ready.
Oh my god.
I love war. War's great. Can slap that in the out of context quotes thing.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, so we talk about the war strategy. You guys got it covered. I'm not there.
Also, Track straight up pulls a turnaround on him. Pretty excited about that one. With the like, but like, what do we get out of it?
Oh yeah, and I'm so happy you said something.
Because like this is another thing that I've been thinking about for like, it's pretty like the moment that DJ's like, hey, we should go get those orcs. Is like, basically what has occurred is these people were like, we can't win this war. Hey, you random people who are good at fighting, can you go win this war for us? Mm-hmm. You have no stake in it. It would potentially never even affect you. In fact, if we didn't ask you to help, you never would have known that it was happening. Mm-hmm. You have no stake in this. You don't know us. You don't like us. We have been terrible to you for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. Go get us out of our situation. And Trek's like, no. You don't get to just ask us for free to go fix your problems.
Right.
We want something out of this. I brought these people here, and they have nothing to gain from helping you. Yeah. For all I know, we're going to win this war, and then you're going to be like, all right, head back to your Crimson Wastes. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
That's not happening. I got him out of here because one of the things that I told him was, like, I can get you past those walls.
Yeah.
So, like, no. We want a place to live that is not bad.
Right.
We want a place that doesn't suck. We don't want to be sent to another desert.
Yeah.
We want support from nations, and we want them to be willing to trade and interact with us. But we want to have free dominion over what we do in the area that we have. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to do some things that you probably don't approve of. Like, we rip people apart with our bare hands. It's going to be a problem. But you need to let that happen because you owe us.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm excited. I love politics in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big fan of like. I've said it for the past 3 Table Talks episodes. I just want to sit there, own a house, and do politics. I just want to run a game of Sims. Yeah.
Sims.
That's
Sims.
what I want. So I don't care. Track doesn't care if they get a Thala or anything like that. If we can clean out a Thala and get a portion of land that is farmable and achievable and acquires the things that we need, great. If that happens to be a Thala and it's like overwhelmed with evil or something like that, great. As long as we got something that we can make it sustainable. And so Track's gonna push for that. Track also set in plans our home base effort. My game of Sims is coming together. So Track's like, look, besides the whole orc land, we also want land. Like, Fate's Gambit wants land. Because you also owe us. We're good people and all, but we just went through the wastes. You have not been there. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not asking for much. We just want
literally,
a free plot
like,
of land.
almost all of us died. Like,
Yeah.
actually died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. True Sora, the drowning people in pools, that's the stuff that I said. There will be some things you don't like going on in the Orcish lands. You're just gonna have to
They just take ladders out of the pools.
Exactly. or like, we're just gonna put them in a room and take away the door. And just watch as they, like, cry and just wet themselves in the corner. Because they can't get access to a bathroom. Yeah, so it's not, the orcs still, they do a lot of messed up stuff. They're not, like, necessarily bad people. It's just part of what they have always done and probably will continue to do. Now, some of that will be dealt with. That's what Track has talked to Lasha about, with, like, I don't want to remove the culture of the orcs. I want to trim it to get rid of the things that are just objectively not good for us. Mm-hmm. Like, we probably shouldn't kill our own people as often as we do. That's probably not a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's not stellar.
Yeah, it's very much the like the keep the culture, better the society.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. But
yeah.
I'm excited for so many things. I want to see the orcs, because the other thing is orcs multiply really fast. So really fast. So give it some time. Orcs are going to have to also move out of that land probably. Because they can't stay there so long. And one of the things that I also want to set up in place is people are going to realize that the orcs are really good at fighting. And so they're going to want that. Simple solution, so that way they don't start trying to do really crummy things to get orcs. Mm-hmm. We're just going to set up a system of mercenary work. So that way that's the easiest way for an orc to gain experience that they wouldn't be able to get outside of the wastes. Have them be hired as mercenaries. That's great. The orcs will love that. Oh, you mean that I get to fight and get paid for it? With this weird money system that you require? Where we don't. But, it's necessary in this world. It would be great. Yeah, I plan to deal with a lot of problems. I'm going to write dockets out. Whole, pamphlets. It'll be great. Yeah, and then I'm going to build a house. I'm going to build a mansion. I'm going to build a Fate's Gambit headquarters. It's going to be sweet. It's going to have a pool table.
Well, yeah, and I'm excited too, because At the very end of the episode, Riniya goes and she talks with Edward a little bit.
Also, stellar wingmanning.
I got him. Don't worry. Tiala, you'll get to stab him soon.
Yo, babe, I'm not gonna get in the way of your blade. You know what I mean?
I really liked that, and I'm really happy with how it went. It went exactly how I had hoped it would. Because first, I wanted to touch on the fact that Riniya's always been kind of floating, where she doesn't really have that thing holding her down and driving her and blah, 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 especially with this whole war thing. So she's always had that and always been that question of this, but I wanted to touch on the fact that she has lost the two elements that really did give her that.
Yep.
She can no longer bring back her friends. She could try to bring back Edward, but again, that would still need a sacrifice deal that she doesn't have. So her biggest, what she viewed as her biggest asset to the team, she no longer has. And Lada, who is her main tie to this war and everything, she doesn't remember. And so I really wanted to touch on this feeling of her being very much lost in the sauce of like, what am I doing here? Like,
absolutely.
I don't know what I'm here to do for you. Like, you guys are talking these war strategies. You guys are talking these war strategies. I can fight, but I have no contribution to like the actual strategy and the planning and the things like that. I don't have enough knowledge for that and those kinds of deals. So I really wanted to touch on that, and then I had her go specifically to Edward because I knew how Grant would handle it as Edward. I knew Grant wouldn't, because I didn't want it to be a very deep conversation. I wanted it to kind of touch on a deep topic, but I didn't want it to be a really in-depth analysis of Riniya and blah 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 blah. I just wanted to kind of touch on it and get her on a track to keep going, which was Edward just being like, dude, what are you talking about? Like,
I don't know what I'm doing either.
You're awesome, and I don't know what I'm doing either. So let's just do it.
You know what you could do? You could be like, hey, Gratz, I need 1,000 soldiers. Hear me out. Be pretty sick. We just need a little bit of backup. It's not anything crazy. Just like, give me some demons, and it'll be awesome. Or like one Balrog, game changer. But
I was really happy with Grant handling that way and doing it that way. And I also wanted to have her talk about that a little bit, because I really do want her to find that thing that drives her, that motivation and that goal. And I have plans for it. I have future plans for it with it. So I kind of wanted to touch on that topic and just bring it to the forefront for when I get to do that stuff.
It'll be great.
But yeah.
I'm excited for so many things in that. Look, you know me. I love war. So I don't. Now the most difficult thing is I don't know how Deeta's gonna do it. Like in terms of I don't even know. Like war is hard in Dungeons and Dragons because it takes more than just your character. It's like a lot of people. Like we have what?
Right.
Like 16,000 soldiers just between the elves and the orcs.
We have a lot.
Which also, other thing that I liked is as Turek. I was like, I have 6,000 orcs. He's like, oh, we have 10,000 elves. I'm like, oh, good, you're still outnumbered.
I love that.
that was fun.
That was a good comment. I loved that one.
But yeah, it's hard. Like there are different ways to do it. Some of them are like rolling specific checks to see if your characters are able to assist in different areas of the battle. It could be that like winning specific battles pushes like a counter forwards that like is either if you succeed at this task or if you like lose this fight, the counter goes up or down. It's so difficult to gosh dang do any large scale combat in Dungeons and Dragons. Some ways are easier and some ways are harder, and there's just so many different ways to do it that I just don't know. I just don't know how that would go. So I'm excited to see what DJ does with it because I know it would be good. I just don't know how he'll do it. But yeah, I'm excited. There's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to. I think that it'll be just an all around good time. Now, plans for the future. What are some things that you're looking forward to? Do you have any plans, or has anything influenced you in a specific way that you want to do something that you want to reveal to us? Are there any behind the scenes Riniya things that might be happening sometime in the future? Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm really excited that we're back with Malice. I'm really excited for some Malice interactions, especially without having Lada. Seeing how Malice responds to that, and if he's even aware of it, if he's even aware that Riniya and Lada don't remember each other at all. I'm really excited to see, like I said, I'm really excited to see Riniya find a purpose, like find her drive for things.
Fighting for. That's the second one reference.
This girl's got a lot of growing to do.
So that's an interesting thing. I was actually asked, you may have been the one that asked it, whether or not track would be changing a whole lot in the future. And so something that's interesting to me is the difference between our characters. Because at this point in time, Track has kind of completed his character art.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit.
Like, Track's pretty good. He knows who he is, what his purpose is. He has something to do, and like, kind of knows what he wants to do and how he wants it to turn out. He's like developed as a person in a lot of ways, and like come up with a lot of different thoughts about how things go. At this point in time, Track is kind of done changing. He's pretty much done. In comparison to like Edward and Riniya, and like even Cather. Because Cather was kind of forced to take some steps back with the whole like resurrecting a person thing. And so like it's just interesting to kind of see like Track's kind of at the end of his arc in a lot of ways. Track's not going to do a whole lot of realizations or like this is going to fundamentally change how I think and process as a standard mortal being. Truly, my perception of reality has been changed forevermore. Like, it's not going to happen. Or if it does, it will be pretty minimal. Which is just an interesting, like, difference between characters. And just, like, development and how far they've gotten and stuff like that. So I think it'll be interesting.
Well, yeah, because what I really like with Riniya, is Riniya's like growth over the campaign so far has not really been growth.
It's been a horizontal line, so it's
progressed. Not even, but it's like we've gotten further, but we haven't gotten like, so how I view Riniya, and I think I might have talked about it on Table Scraps before, but how I view a lot of Riniya's development as a character so far in the campaign has been less of her growing as a person and more deconstructing who she was pre-built to be. So she was like, Lada had set her a very certain way after the whole breakdown of her from the cult. So she was set up as the cult, breaks that down, Lada rebuilds. And then there's this Lada version of Riniya. then Riniya goes off on her own and is starting to like look at everything and take both ends of it into consideration, look at everything, deconstructing everything, and is back to square one with like nothing. And then she has been like developing. I wouldn't say she's been growing though. I don't think she started growing yet, but she's close.
Found a foundation.
I feel it. She's almost there. It's almost in her reach. I think there's been some pretty big things that are definitely weigh a lot with her. Yeah, I want to meet Riniya. That's where I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to get Riniya's Riniya. We're trying to build Riniya's Riniya, and that's. I'm so excited for that for when we have her because I have such. She's so cool.
Like a show about music, where it's like, no, I need to find my own sound.
It's a Disney Channel original.
Yeah, it's like, no, not my grandfather's, not my mother's. I need to find my sound. Who am I? What's my sound? Oh no, I just broke into. That's already a song. It's from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
But then
my favorite Disney movie, by the way.
Yeah. So then there's that. I had a train of thought. I lost it with Riniya.
Riniya.
Yes, but then I've been thinking a lot about Riniya and who she's going to become and those things like that. And there's one thing I kind of want to talk about because I've been talking a lot with my mom about it, actually. Like, there was one day she came up to my room and I was just going full in depth on this with her. And we were talking about how Riniya's story lines up a lot with like Persephone's story in like Greek mythology. And there's like lots of interpretations of like how different elements go and things like that.
Who's the bad guy? Everyone's the bad guy in that story. There's no good person.
Nobody's good here.
Even in some of the stories, like Persephone isn't that great.
Right. Well, and then, so it's like, so there's lots of different elements that you can go and take with it on different rounds. But the ultimate base of it being Riniya grew up very protected. Not protected, but very like a very closed-minded world.
Like hover-parented.
Very hover-parented in the cults, and then even with Lada a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean absolutely.
Where it's things are very like the cult was very like blinders on, and then with Lada it was very hover-parent. Like I need to protect you.
Yeah, it was very rule-based. Like you cannot do this, you cannot do that, don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah, and then you get this like, so that's very much the Demeter end of it all, and all of that, and then she goes off and she's off on her own, and when she's off on her own, Hades comes in and takes her to the underworld,
like, and babe, I'd love to take you home, and you're like, I'm actually kind of down with that.
I'm kind of into it.
Man, does that make us your mom? Where you're like, does that make us Demeter? Where we're like, Zeus, I swear to God, if you don't give back my daughter,
well, I was actually putting Malice as more
the world into darkness.
Malice is more that end, where like, it's the like.
Then I really hope we're not Zeus.
You guys aren't Zeus. Why would you guys be Zeus?
I don't know. Someone has to be Zeus in this analogy. I'm a big analogy person, Lydia. That's what I do.
So then you got this, and then and then you got it's just really cool. It's really cool how those kind of elements line up, and actually like a lot of Persephone's story has fed into a lot of inspiration for what I want Riniya going forward. So I'm very excited. It's a cool thing, and I've always loved Greek mythology.
Oh,
I think so many people love it, especially D&D people. And so I mean,
it's so cool. Now, and the worst part about it is the more you read mythology, it gets more interesting but less cool because you realize how messed up it is.
There's a lot of like messed up things.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's just bad.
But yeah.
Yeah, I love just everything that's going on in this campaign has been pretty dang stellar, except for that pirate arc. Ugh. Just so you
we
know.
Still never paid Captain Argos, and I feel bad about it.
My favorite thing about, so I'll say that often. It's literally just because I know that DJ wasn't a huge fan of that arc. That he was like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. Kind of glad that we got out of it. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine. I think also there was a lot of external things happening around the time that arc was happening.
There was a ton of stuff out like in real life that was going on.
Yeah, in real world and things like that.
Real world. And so I just love making people feel bad. So I'll bring up the things like in the same way that I'll like rag on Riniya or Edward or Cather. That's my way of ragging on the DM. She's like, oh, that pirate arc. What was going on there? But in reality, that arc is absolutely crucial to everything else that has gone on.
Yeah.
We like 100%. Specifically, even if you look at nothing else other than the items we obtained there, like incredibly valuable.
Oh yeah.
Like, we got a whole flying boat that we then broke, but it's fine now, and that wasn't our fault. Someone tried to kill us, and like, what are you gonna do? We were already parked. Someone slashed our tires. We couldn't stop them. Also, I will state I would have loved if the Dwarf King was on the boat the whole time.
I'm the Dwarf King.
I am the Dwarf King.
That would have been hilarious. Delandric just comes out.
He's like covered in banana peels or something, and he's like, I was in the cupboard. I hid there and no one noticed me, but I also got stuck. I had to coat myself with banana juice in order to make myself slick enough to escape. No one could hear me because no one cooked after you made those hotcakes. I don't understand what has happened. Was Grotz there? Like, oh,
Did I hear the
was
Demon
that
Prince
the Demon
in there?
Prince of... Was that the Demon Prince of Pleasure? I think it was. Is that a common thing? Do you guys like hang out with him often? We're like, no, it's just her. It's like he sometimes stops over for hotcakes now, but he kidnaps Riniya on Wednesday nights. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's fine. She agreed to it. Did you know that there was at one point in time there was a service that you could pay them to kidnap you? I think it might still be a thing, and so like, and it was like a schedule thing. Like you could schedule off time from work and be like, hey, I want to be kidnapped, and I want to be kidnapped for this set amount of time. These are the goals that I want to acquire while I'm kidnapped. Like, this is what I want. It cost a lot of money, but it was like completely illegal. And so like one person paid for it, and she was like, I want to lose weight. So they kidnapped her and put her in a room and only fed her like health food. And the only thing in the room was a treadmill. I'm just saying, this is kind of brilliant. Like, they put in the work. They tailed her for like a month to like learn her schedule and then kidnap her while she wasn't expecting
That's
it.
horrifying. I hate that.
I mean, that's why it costs so much money. Is that it has to be like it's a lot of work, and a lot of people probably aren't a big fan of this.
That's horrible.
I'm pretty sure they're
that.
not in business anymore.
They better not be.
Like,
that's terrifying.
It's kind of an interesting business problem. Could you imagine, like, all these times when people are like, oh man, I just wish I could get away. You can. Just get kidnapped.
No.
It's easy. Here at the Paper Dungeon, we don't recommend getting kidnapped or kidnapping others. We do not subscribe to that ideology unless it's completely legal.
No, we're okay.
Look, it's nothing different than what Riniya's doing. She's like, hey, can you kidnap me at 7
Riniya's not... Riniya's a D&D character.
Yeah?
In Nico Muris, which is in a real
in my
world.
Oh man, Dungeons and Dragons, crazy game.
This is wild. This is fun.
Oh, also, I noticed a lot of people have been, and by a lot of people I mean like 3, have been talking or mentioning World of Warcraft. That is a game that I have wanted to get into for so long, but it is so far along that I neither have no idea of where to start or even like how to begin thinking about starting. So if at any point in time someone's like, Aaron, I would love to run you through how to do World of Warcraft, I'm probably in. Like that's like my type of game. Please send me your World of Warcraft tips, and I may very well pick it up sometime. Who knows? Maybe one day there will be a Paper Dungeon guild. How sick is that? World of Warcraft will truly devolve into the real nerds.
I don't know what that means.
Where I'm like, hey Lydia, sorry, can't hang out with you today. Me and the guildmates are doing a raid, and it's probably going to take like 5 hours. So, sorry, I know that we like, this is our like, hey, let's go to a food place day. Can't do it. We're raiding Gildamore, the Dragon of Greed. But yeah, I think that it's a super interesting game. I don't know if I'd prefer to play WoW Classic or Standard WoW. There've been quite a couple of people in the Discord that have mentioned that they like play it pretty avidly. Mm-hmm. And I see every single one of them. Always. I'm a witness. Now, here's the question. I'm down. We can keep talking about stuff. Is there anything more about the episode that we want to talk about?
I don't really have anything.
Okay. Next question. Is there anyone in the chat who has questions that you would like us to answer about kind of anything? Track's pancake recipe? Oof. I can actually probably do that. At some point in time, there may be a Track's pancake recipe sent in the Discord.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Because I do know how to make pancakes. Off the top of my head, though, I can't... I don't know what to tell you. If there are no other questions from the chat, I'm taking that as a no. And Lydia, you have nothing more about the game. Oh, what recipe is Riniya's secret weapon? Do you have a recipe up your sleeve? We all know it's instant ramen. Can Riniya cook?
Yeah, she's not particularly good at it.
But she knows enough to survive.
Like, she knows how to make things. Like, because Lotta was a baker. Like, Lotta loved baking. So Riniya knows how to bake, but it's those things where it's like, you do the recipe right, but it still just tastes funny. That's kind of how she cooks.
Well, yeah, it's like, you like, get a recipe that your mom has used for a really long time. You're like, oh, I'm so excited to make and eat this. I haven't eaten this food in forever. Then you eat it, and you're like, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. Where it's like something she didn't make it, so it's not right. It's wrong.
So we did get a couple of questions.
Heck yeah, I'm so excited. I love when we get questions.
So first off, does Riniya have a? Let's change the question. Does she have a favorite food to make?
Riniya's favorite food to make. Honestly, it would probably just be making tea. She's probably come to really enjoy making tea.
Interesting.
But it's in my brain that she like tries to make it for Edward, but
he's like, never... oh great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Already finished. No, 100%. I couldn't do another cup. Not a. I'm stuffed, honestly. I don't know if Track has it's probably just meat. Like he just likes he's a griller. He's an absolute dad griller where he's like, no, you see the trick is to broil it first. You wanna put it in. That's when you sear it, and that's how you get that nice crust. Actually, this is my signature spice that I like, additive. That's, you know, so that's what I don't grill. I'm not a griller, but Track's a big griller. If you were to get a tattoo to do with the campaign in real life, what would you get?
Oh, what would you do? Well, I think.
Oh man,
you get Tarak's full tattoo.
Like legitimately, that was the first thing that came to mind. At least, Steve, look. All right, I've actually thought about getting a tattoo before. Mm-hmm. The rule for it is, for me, I have to be in a place physically, and comfortably in my own body to the point where I do not think that getting a tattoo would change as I go. So like, a lot of times if you get a tattoo when you have a lot of like fat, or when you're like really ripped, and then you lose that fat or lose that muscle, it distorts the tattoo. I wouldn't want that, because if I'm getting a tattoo, this is the second thing, I'm going all out. I'm getting like a full like back tattoo. I'm not getting like a little arm thing. No. If I'm getting a tattoo, I'm getting one that covers my back, or at least is like from the like nape of the neck to the bottom of my back. So that way I can still wear a shirt and it isn't like visible for like work purposes. But I'm not getting some little tattoo. If I'm doing it, I'm just doing a big one. So that way I don't have to do something crazy.
If it was campaign related, I'd want something smaller. Like probably that big max kind of deal. And the two things that I can think that I would like that I'm actually like, that would actually kind of be a dope little thing. One, it's a little cliche, but like a rose, but it'd be like a black rose. Or a like queen chess piece.
That would be good. Like, are we talking like ankle/wrist tat? I feel like ankle tat fits you well. I don't know why. Specifically of the like chest piece.
In my brain I picture it like right there.
Yeah, it's either the like forearm,
like right there.
Like wrist thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, I could see it. I would love to do, like, we could get to the point where the crew could get matching tattoos of the paper dungeon. Yeah, I would be down with a like the track tattoo, depending on like what it is. I don't know. It like, besides that.
Oh, another thing. Again, it's a very cliche one, but it would just be like a drawn heart, because that's what Lydia and Riniya always did.
And that's another good one for like the arm.
For like a little like hidden one. Yeah. All right. Wow, this is adorable.
Well, it looks like Lydia's getting a tattoo.
I don't know about that, but.
So, next question. Is Riniya also ripped?
Riniya is not ripped. Riniya is fit, but Riniya is not ripped.
Demonic strength.
Riniya is not
she
shredded.
Looks small, but then
she's Starfire from Teen Titans, where it's I may look small, but I'm stronger than
you're like a stick, but it's like ha. You just like throw people around like paper. Do we have anything?
Do we have any other
else?
Ask more questions. I like answering your guys' questions. Ask us more questions. I mean, yeah.
If we were to get a group tattoo, it would just have to be of our logo, like a small one, like somewhere on. I don't even think it would have to be in the same place. Like, I would still probably want to get it like.
You just get it all like your whole back.
Yeah, just bam. No, I would get it like
giant.
I would either get it like heart, like chest, or like on the like left shoulder, kind of like back area. One of those two areas would be on the left side of my body. I don't know why, because I don't want it on the right. That would be a pain.
See, if we were gonna do a like paper dungeon group tattoo, I don't think I'd want us to do the logo.
That's fair, but it's still tattooable.
I think it would be really cool if like if we were to all just for some one reason or another decide to do a campaign group tattoo, we all get a different chess piece.
Ooh, that would actually be good.
Cool. That could be a cool one.
Track is a total rook. Cather is obviously a knight. We've got.
Yes.
Now the question is: would Riniya be queen or bishop?
That is a good question. I'd say queen, because I'd say Lada is the bishop.
That's fair. Now, what would Edward be? A pawn.
No.
Nailed it. Well, we're out of chess pieces that are things. So he's either a king, which Edward is a king, or a pawn.
Well, I feel like I think it's kind of cool though if like both you and Grant got the
rook.
Got the rook, since he's like your like prodigy kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Either that, or we could do something. We could do like a mixed piece where it's like that you see the pawn, but then like the king is also present. So it's like the pawn and the king is behind it. I can think in my brain of how this tattoo would look, and it would look sick to kind of show the like outward appearance of Edward versus the like actual main character aspect of him in the campaign. Yeah, I think it's doable. I'm down. We have a great tattoo place here. It's called Voodoo Tattoo. It's great. Everyone they really like it there. So
it's really weird here. I think there is one street here that you could get tattoos on, and it was because it was literally the only place it was legal to get a tattoo was this one street.
That's interesting.
For the longest time, and then that's just where it's always been. But yeah.
So we got another question. Who's Riniya's most influential person now? Could be anyone. Like, could even be someone in the party.
I'm gonna take Gratz and Malice out of the equation.
Could be someone, I don't know, like almost 7 feet tall. Great smile. Looks great in booty shorts.
I don't know.
Really good cook.
Like I love Tarak, but he's not really like influence.
It's fine. I guess we just aren't friends then.
I'd say as of now, her only real influences are Gratz and Malice.
Fair. I will accept your answer. It doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
Sorry, but yeah, but I think I think that's really the only people that she's really gonna let influence her at this point. So.
Is there any other questions from chat? I know that we have some people going. I don't have anything else to talk about. I mean, I could keep talking about whatever. I could talk about books, could talk about movies, could talk about World of Warcraft. It doesn't matter. I could talk about gosh dang Rune Quest, I think it is. I don't even remember the name of it, dog. Could talk about so many things. But if we don't have to. Oh, if Track had to say goodbye to one of the party, who would it be the easiest to say goodbye to?
That's a harsh one.
As in, like, Track's dying or Track's leaving? This is a very important question.
No. I think this is saying if, like, somebody in the party had to go, who would Track be like, bye?
That is another way that you could treat this. If now, once again, that also asks the question, are they dying or are they just leaving? The person is just leaving.
One of the party members is leaving. Who is it? That's a mean question. Don't answer that. Don't answer.
It's Cather. Look, it's between Cather and Edward. All right.
Wait, really?
Well, yeah. Well, you can't go anywhere. You may not see them. Totally understandable. See, that's why it's Cather. All right? Because if Cather is like, I have to go. I have this divine duty to perform this task. Chuck's going to be like, sure thing. I know that this is what you want to do. This is what you believe to be right. You got it. If like Edward walked up and was like, Track, I need to go. Track would be like, now do you actually need to go? Or are you just saying that because you want to get out of work? Like, so that would be a problem. And he is like, he doesn't know what else he can teach Edward or what else Edward needs to learn, but he would like to be there when that situation occurs. Mm-hmm. And then you can't let Riniya go. You're like his only friend. That would be sad. He would be like, if you were like, Trek, I need to leave. Like Gratz is like, babe, you need to run the Nightosphere. You go full Marceline. Trek would be like, no, I'm going with you in that case. Like, you are my oath keeper, first off. Second off, I need to make sure you don't die. So, no. So the answer is Cather, because Track believes that if Cather is going, then there is a reason that Cather needs to go. He wouldn't do that if he didn't have to. Who does Track see as the biggest threat in the party or in life? I hate to ask questions, but I need these to be specific. Because in the
a threat to what? To like
that
to
is
like
also a
life?
good question. Yeah, are we talking about like his life? Are we talking to other people's lives? Write me a short answer to this question. Both. In the party. Okay. It was a typo.
Okay.
Figured it out. In the party and out of the party. In the party, assuming that the threat is to Track's life and the safety of the party. I would assume that is the case. Like, who is the most likely to betray us or, like, cause an issue that would cause all of us to get in danger, including Track and the people that are far more important than Track's safety. To what he values for himself and for the world. Well, the thing that he values the most, because he doesn't really value his own safety that highly, and the world's safety is not his concern. So the threat to the party. Ugh. Strangely enough, the biggest threat is probably Riniya. Not because of something that she'd do, but because of the conflict surrounding her. Mm-hmm. Like, she may not even do something, but something that involves her occurs, and then the party is like, And
that's kind of sick, though, that it's like, with Tarek, it's like, Riniya's the biggest threat, but also the thing that he's trying to protect from.
It's terrible. Threat. Now, you see, and the thing is, he doesn't think that you would actually do anything to harm the party. Uh-huh. Your situation, he needs to monitor the most. Because you have the most things that could go wrong, where it's like, turns out, we did something that Malice really doesn't like. Now a god is like, sorry, Riniya, these friends are a problem. And you're like, guys, and we're like, no, we're not a problem. Shut up, Malice. We love you, but God, get out of our hair. Like, you have the most things that could cause conflict within the group. Uh-huh. Grotz shows up and he's like, you guys are a problem for my plans, and I know that Riniya likes you, but you need to back off. That's a problem. Uh-huh. It's nothing you did, but your situations are way more of a pain than ours. Uh-huh. But yeah, let's see. And then outside of the party, biggest threat. I mean, he's probably watching out for the Sun Fae the most. The Fae that, like, killed Melora. Mm-hmm. Because, like, he's pretty sure that he can take the ice one. He can probably do that. At least he believes that he could.
Lady Morintar and Zestari. Those are their names.
Yeah, sure. But the Sun Fae, he doesn't know that much about. He's never touched her. Like, he at least kind of held hands. Okay, admittedly, she was holding Tarak in her hands with the Ice Fae. But, like, it kind of counts. He's been up close with one of them. The other one, he hasn't seen that much. So that's probably the biggest threat. She's the one that has caused the most direct damage to the group. The one that he knows the least about. That's probably the answer. Well, hey, Maz. Good to see you again. This is Maz, our very own Wizard of the Coast. Do you have any questions for the two of us? Or does anyone else? Because if not, I'm going to go.
Ask some more questions. I just want to just hang out a little bit longer.
I'll do it. I'll press the end stream button. I will.
Just ask like just a few more questions, and then we'll be done.
Lydia.
Just a few more.
Lydia.
Just a few more questions. I'm stalling so hard. Please put some questions.
Here, I'll help you. Just so you guys know, I've recently started listening to a song that I knew of, but I'd never actually listened to. I know a lot of people really enjoy it, but it was covered by a band that I like called Goldfinger, which is a ska band. Yeah, Grant, I'll get to the plugs in a little bit. The Goldfinger is the same people who played Superman, which if you've ever played Tony Hawk Pro Skater is probably the best song on that whole track. And they covered a song called 99 Balloons.
Oh gosh, not this song. I wasn't paying attention because I hurt my fingy.
By the way, hello everyone new. I just saw a little earlier that we got a new follow. We've had a couple of follows today. Welcome to everyone who is new here, and thank you for all of your participation. But if you want to listen to a good song, listen to 99 Balloons by, I think it's Nina. It's really good. It's a bop. But yes. Oh, Drew would like to join to temporarily test out a new
Wait, we
setup.
got questions.
Yeah, you cover the question. Look, I'm gonna switch to the
Gonna keep the audio on?
Yes, but you keep talking.
Keep talking? Okay. First question. What monster does Tarak and Riniya think is the cutest?
That's a
so
great
far,
question.
that's a Splicer Beast that Tarak told to go home. That was a great one.
That was... Oh, I need to return for my pet. Oh, sorry about the break music here. I'll fix that real quick.
No, it's a vibe. Can they still hear me okay?
I'll just turn it down. I'll turn it low. How's that?
Doop, 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 doop. Can you plug the merch? We can, Grant, but we're not going to do that right now. Lydia, do you think that Randy... Oh, my chat moved. Will end with more Warlock or Cleric levels? You guys will have to wait and see what she does.
Punk.
Deal with it. But thank you for your interest in your question. But yeah, no, that's where Rinny's going with the Warlock and Cleric stuff.
It's going all over the place.
It's going all over the place. I have in mind what I want to do, but I'm also leaving it up for flexibility and blah 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 blah. Whoa, Drew, you're freaking an angel.
That is certainly an angle.
I know. I'm at work right now.
God dang.
Okay. I'm gonna keep doing
you have truly ascended. I'm gonna switch back. Is that all right, Drew? Can I switch back?
No, that's fine.
Hello, everybody. This is our friend Drew. He is in heaven right now.
Yes.
He's on Mount Celestia.
Well, we're.
How do Riniya and Tarak feel about honey roasted peanuts? Tarak's never had it. I don't like them because I would die.
Yeah, Aaron's allergic.
I'm allergic to peanuts.
Rinia'd probably like them. We gotta go back. In a modern AU, what apps would be Riniya and Tarak's favorite apps?
What apps? Tinder. Wait.
Wait, what?
No, never mind. Cut that.
Scratch it. Wrong one.
Favorite app? Oh man, I feel like Trek's really into gacha games. Absolutely.
Just like you, Aaron.
He's like, yeah, absolutely. That's for the exact same reasons, where it's just like you get to farm completely pointless, meaningless things.
Riniya would 100% have like 3 different off-brand Candy Crush apps that she like switches between, but then like she gets to a certain point where it's like you use up all the lives, so then you have to like wait. So she downloaded a different one to play while she waited for the other lives to reload.
For some reason, I also feel like Riniya would have the tamest OnlyFans, and it only has like 3 people who subscribe to it, but they're incredibly rich. One of them you don't talk to. They just legitimately support your life choices. They read it like a blog. And then one of them is your boyfriend. Like, like nothing happens on it. You just like post like, hey, yeah, I went and got food today. And then the third one is also Gratz. The second and third are both Gratz.
They're, Gratz on it, and then Gratz on a second account.
Gosh.
Absolutely. He's like, I don't know how to support my girlfriend. Wait, I can just get another account. He's like, I have 9,000 emails. So Drew, what did you want to do? What's up? Why are you here?
Oh well, so I am here. I mean, I've been watching you guys for most of the stream while I've been working. But
so you've heard all of the insults that I made towards your character.
Actually, I didn't hear that part. Actually,
oh man, we did it! Thank goodness.
The very tail end of that is when I joined. I was around enough to see like Maz comment like Cather being like the Chad warrior.
Grant wants me to tell all of the lurkers about a poll that we have going on right now, asking should we use the break music for episode intros and outros. I have no idea what that totally entails, so feel free to respond.
Yeah, take your best guess at what Grant means.
Yeah. All you lurkers out there, we appreciate you.
Yeah. Great people. But yeah,
also,
I just wanted to test out a possible different setup location for myself.
Gotcha.
Like
well, the backlighting is a little intense.
Yeah, the lighting, is going to be different.
Then again, I feel like this could be a role play opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Where you're like, I use divine smite on a crit. And then you're like, by the power of my god, and you turn on the light.
Which one's the light?
I shall strike you down in the name of destiny.
Yeah. Most of the light is natural light. So,
well, yeah. I have to, I also messed up. I should have said that in my,
Your Catherine.
In my Catherine voice. Oh, I swear I'll strike you down. Woo! In the name of the gods.
Is there anything you want to talk about in the last episode?
Oh boy, I mean, I don't even know what you guys have all talked about.
We've covered everything, so anything you want to talk about, go for it.
You know about as much as the several new people that just showed up.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And so I would also like to apologize to them. We went over the gosh dang last episode. That's the thing that we did. And now we're here. And honestly, we've just been answering questions because Lydia doesn't want to leave.
I like answering questions. And we got to see Drew because of it. So you're welcome.
I'm not sure if that's a benefit.
You know, Aaron, that hurts just a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine.
I'm a criminal dog.
Anyway, Drew, anything you want to talk about from the last episode?
Oh, boy. I mean, I thought last episode was really good. I'm excited to see where next episode. Honestly, I can't wait for Edward's date. I think I'm looking forward to that the most.
Are you just as excited as we are to watch as Edward gets stabbed in the back 30 episodes from now? Because I can tell you, we are pumped about it. If that woman does not kill Edward, or at least attempt,
then something went
wrong.
Disappointed. DJ's not allowed to DM for us anymore.
It's over.
Never again. Oh, we hit 500 hours of streaming on Twitch. You're welcome, Grant.
I think by we, you mean me and Aaron.
Yeah. And technically Drew. But he showed up late, so I don't know if I really count.
Drew did the 500, but both anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, you were there for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was us.
Grant wasn't. Neither was DJ.
Also, I would like to state, I don't think I have missed an episode of the Paper Dungeon. Ever. I'm pretty sure I have a perfect record.
Honestly, I think you and me.
I've missed a few table scraps, and then
I've also never missed a table scrap.
I've never missed an episode of Paper Dungeon. Even when I was moving, I don't think I missed it.
I have been here every single time we have gone live, except for the well, no, those were pre-recorded, so I wouldn't count those.
I've missed a few one-shots. We did a one-shot when I was moving.
Right, yeah.
I am clearly the most reliable person on the Paper Dungeon. I just want to talk myself up a little bit.
I've missed a few table scraps. I know one was because I didn't have a voice. I remember that one.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fine. Not all of us can be as good as me.
Oh, that is true. Grant did kind of show up.
Oh, he doesn't count. The delivery boy doesn't count.
Is that what he was doing at your house?
He brought me a drink, which I'm thankful for.
Thanks, Grant.
God.
Anyway, back to the episode.
But yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought Track and the rest of the boys in the kitchen was really funny.
Just some thick himbos ready to rock.
And just honestly, to me, it was just a nice way to just keep kind of the kind of more fun silliness going, because we've had a lot of really serious episodes recently, because the Crimson Wastes is constantly trying to kill us.
And now we're just gonna go straight back into the pain.
And so we need one that more is just the fun episode that right before we go to war, and probably I'll die again.
Fun. Another question from Maz. In a modern day situation, what is everyone's favorite cereal? Cinnamon Toast, Fruit Crunch, Fruit Loops, Cheerios, etc.
I mean, Cather's definitely a Wheaties guy.
Oh, not even like a mini Wheats, like a frosted mini Wheats guy.
Nope, he's
God, you're just as bland as your cereal. Question: do you at least add honey to them?
Oh no, he definitely adds sugar.
Oh, okay, and that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Riniya's Fruity Pebbles.
That's so sad.
The Fruity Pebbles or the Wheaties?
Well, both.
Tracks,
it's Fruity Pebbles is like the reverse Wheaties. It has Wheaties doesn't have anything going on. Fruity Pebbles has way too much.
That's so accurate for Cather and Riniya.
I know, it's absolutely correct. That's why I said it's so sad.
Now, okay, but what is Track?
Probably Honey Nut Cheerios. He's not.
That's much better than Wheaties.
Yes, it is much better. If I just said Cheerios, not the Honey Nut Cheerios, then we've got a problem. But I don't know. Then again, he might be like a Honey Bunches of Oats kind of guy. Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries, I feel is a very Track cereal. Because he's I just like to be, health conscious, but also, I just like strawberries. That's all it is.
I just like strawberries.
I like to say that I eat it because it's healthy, but I just like strawberries. Yeah, Edward is the person who does way too much with oatmeal. Where it's he's oh yeah, I'm just having some oatmeal, and you look, and he's pouring 100% cream and a dusting of cinnamon, and it has the little eggs, the dinosaur eggs in it, which mind you, it rocks, but still. And then he throws some random plant on top of it, and then fruit. And he's it takes him more time to put toppings on the oatmeal than to make the actual oatmeal. And then he doesn't even eat all of it.
No, he only eats a third of it.
Yeah. He's I don't know, I just got tired of it. I filled myself up on tea. But yes, I do think that the most accurate statement made today is that Riniya's favorite cereal is Fruity Pebbles.
Absolutely.
That is, and you know that it's like in the cult family, it was like your reward, where they're like, what would a child like to eat? I know, Fruity Pebbles. It's colorful. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I don't know, I just like it. That's all I ever got to eat when I was a kid, because it's the worst possible choice. Like, and so Fruity Pebbles story. I'd never had Fruity Pebbles for a long time. And I thought, I love Fruit Loops. Basically the same thing. Hey, Mom. She was at, like, a Sam's Club. How about you get the, like, box? Like, the, like, bulk box of Fruity Pebbles.
The value pack, yeah.
Yeah, where it's, like, you could...
Family size,
You could feed a family through a nuclear war if Fruity Pebbles actually had any nutrients in them. Mm-hmm. A half a bowl. That's how much I ate of it. Because I ate it and I was like, this is horrible. This is just, like, objectively bad cereal. It's just not... It doesn't taste good. And I will die on this hill.
See, you know, my favorite thing about Aaron is, like, literally...
my weird stances.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you can't prove him wrong.
Exactly. Fruity Pebbles is objectively bad. Even if you like it. I'm fine if you like it. I like a lot of bad things. Just not Fruity Pebbles.
Like literally, if you asked him why, he could give you like diagrams and graphs and full on spreadsheets. It's like, okay, this is why Fruity Pebbles is objectively bad.
Yeah.
And then you just,
it's not good.
And then receiving his, I can't say anything.
I will say, in terms of cereal tier, like in the tier list of cereals, Cinnamon Toast Crunch for the first 20 seconds is top tier. After 20 seconds, it hits like C at best. Because there is no food worse than soggy Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's soggy Cinnamon Toast Crunch after the first, like, once you hit a minute into it sitting in milk, worse than Fruity Pebbles. Yeah. It's true. You might as well just eat oatmeal with cinnamon at that point in time.
Honestly, yeah.
But first 30 seconds.
Who made this comment? Because I'm
30
upset
seconds, with them. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh,
Maz, why did you have to ask about cereal? Look what you've done.
Now, Cocoa Pebbles. That's a game changer.
Maz, he's still going. You need to ask a different question.
Cocoa Pebbles? I will slam Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh, wait. I got a question. Riniya's favorite acrylic nail design. Okay, I feel like Riniya wouldn't do acrylic nails. She'd get her own nail polish and do it herself, and it would be like baby pink, but it would get chipped immediately because she'd get impatient wanting to wait for it to dry.
Strong.
So it's always like smudged and chipped.
Now I'm going to. I had been asking nicely. I'm now going to offer a threat instead. If we don't end the stream, I will continue talking about cereal. Because
Drew,
let me tell you,
did you get to talk about
Marshall
everything you wanted to talk about?
Incredibly interested in favorite cereal in a variety of different forms. For example, favorite cereal after 2 minutes of milk. It has to be one that holds up well. And strangely, so Frosted Mini Wheats start off the worst possible cereal, like only slightly above, above Wheaties. After 20 minutes in cereal, suddenly much better.
20 minutes or 2 minutes? 2
minutes, doesn't matter. Once you get to a certain level of sogginess in cereal and you can't go any farther. So I would say that probably the greatest increase in skill in goodness of cereal, Frosted Mini Wheats. That still doesn't mean they're great. But after they get soggy, not that bad. Kind of fun to eat, actually. Good texture, interesting. So, Lydia, are you ready to end the stream?
Yeah.
Okay, great. In that case, I have to do my obligatory end of stream plugs. So, everybody, we are people. We have things. We have a link tree that has all of the different links, Except you should also do a Patreon thing because I think the Patreon link is broken. But we have like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. YouTube shorts are on there. We need subs. Do it. It'll be great. We have a Discord. You should be on that Discord. That Discord rocks. For all you new people in here, got a lot of cool stuff going on in the Discord.
Really
Lydia
cool.
posts art. You can also post art if you want.
Please do.
We would
I
love
like
it.
my art to have
So
company.
Lydia's art isn't lonely because I only post art like every 6 months. If you would like to support us, there's a number of ways. First off, we have a website, www.thepaperdungeon.com, of which we have merchandise where you can buy stuff to look like I do right now, minus the hair, probably. Speaking of stores where you can buy cool merchandise, Lydia has a store. It's back up and it's rocks. You can't buy notebooks, but you can buy pillows. That's
and
your
art
new
commissions
slogan.
are available.
Yes, art commissions. That's a thing. You can get Lydia to draw stuff for you. To an extent. Depends. I don't want to offer any absolutes here. Let's see. We also have, if you are looking for other ways to support us, we have places where you could like send us money, like Patreon or Ko-Fi or the Streamlabs cash dang donation thing that we have set up. It's a thing. It's real. And the easiest way to support us is to tell
your friends about us.
Tell your friends. Get them here. Force them here.
They'll talk about us.
Maybe you can start a company to kidnap them and then put them
Let
in a
us-
room with only our
We
videos
want to
playing.
steal your friends. Your friends are our
We would
friends
love
now.
to steal your friends. As the
They're
Paper
ours.
Dungeon cult,
We're keeping them.
we need as many members as we can get.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other than that, I think that is all of our thing. Yes, we did have a video go public. Grant, people actually mentioned it in stream. They were like, "Hey, I think the YouTube just posted a video."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you want to, like, watch us on Mondays, but you're like, "Oh my goodness, there's no way that I could possibly watch through that much stuff on YouTube." That's like over 240 hours of content. You're right. Start at episode 50. It's much easier. It gives you a good background of the characters and what's all going on. A little overview.
It's not. The YouTube isn't caught up yet.
Not yet.
But it will be soon.
Grant. Start at episode 50. We also have a podcast. Yes, you can find us on Spotify and Podbean and things like that. And I know that there are probably a lot of people that watch the podcast. We have so little ways of seeing you. So if you want us to know that you watch the podcast, show up on our stream and be like, hey, don't let the podcast die. All right, this is my only source of gushing entertainment. Because yeah, it's the forum for our podcast. It's kind of hard to reach out to the people who listen to us on there. I think that's everything. I don't think that I have forgotten anything.
I think you got it.
Pretty sure. Are we good?
I think we're good.
Are we good?
Yep.
Right. Thank you everyone for showing up today. It has been an absolute blast. I've been so excited to do the stream. I think it's been really good. The only thing
You were
I
getting
have
ready
left
to plug
say,
everything again.
I was getting I was like, I had to
You're
hold
like,
myself
check out our
back there.
socials.
Check out TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I think the only thing that I have left to say, I was also making sure that I didn't forget anything, is good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers. It has been an absolute blast.
I'm not gonna lie.